Alright. What is up, everybody? For my YouTube peoples that are staying tuned with me on this journey, I will say that this is a great investment. Not only is my house AC cooled, so that way when I transition my grow blocks to go from out of this tent into the fruiting chamber, it's staying like a nice 60 something to low, like below 70 temperature. I would say like 68 degrees, especially because we want to keep it on that type of temperature all day, every day, since we're coming into summertime. So it's going to get a lot hotter. We're over here in the Bay Area in California. So my house temperature always stays the same temperature just because we set it like that. We want to get off work, come home, not have to worry about heating up and then cooling down when we turn it on. So we heard that it saves energy just to leave it running, and it does. The less stress your AC has to take on kicking on and kicking off, if you just leave it running, it's going to stay set that temperature all day, less work for it. But enclosed in here, it's kind of blocking out a little bit of the coolness, and it's staying like a good 72 to like 74, I would say maybe 75 degrees temperature in here. So it's like good ambient warm temperature in here before I even turn this light on with the fan. Now it's starting to cool down in here, but it was like pretty warm in here, but not like hot warm. It was like nice soothing warm. I could go to sleep in here type of warm, and not even need a blanket type. It was like that type of warm where it wasn't hot and it wasn't too cool. It was just like, man, I could just go to sleep with nothing right here on the floor, and I would feel probably just knock out by myself just because I don't need a blanket. That type of warmness where it's set and good in controlled temperature like that is why my mycelium is starting to take off. Hold on, let me see if I can turn this on. I can't turn the flash on right now, but I know you guys could see that little bit of mycelium all up in the liquid. This is the albino liquid culture that I just inoculated on 320. And from those 2 to 3 little squirts, it is doing its thing. And there's a lot of mycelium up in there. Hopefully it's close enough for you guys to see. You see those little mycelium chunks all over the jar now. This is ready to go. I can leave it for a couple days. So what I'm going to do is just swirl it, break it all down, and spread it. Boom. Do a little tornado. Get the little mycelium chunks up in there, swirling. And that way they break up a little bit and continue to keep breaking and take on over the substrate, which is the honey water. So boom. Not only do I have albino cordyceps pretty much forever now because I have this, and I still have 2 syringes. I could make 4 to 6 more to 12 more to, all it needs is a little squirt. And you could create a whole jar of new, you have a business. Especially with albino cordyceps, because I actually caught that on a fluke that I saw somebody was selling them. I've never even heard of them before, so I'm glad I did. And look at the agars. Already colonized. This is one of them. The other ones are like 75 to 80%, but this one's pretty much damn near 100%, and this is only 3 days. So this type of temperature up in here is ideal, and this is why they're growing so fast. Same thing with this one. Hold on. Same thing with this one. This one's like a little bit wispy, but it's all there. It's all across the top mat. There ain't no fungus. There ain't no spores or green trichoderma. Same thing, this one's like wispy. It's like here and there in patches, but it's already almost 80% colonized. This last one, same thing. It's got a huge bald spot, but You know, besides that, all around it, it's all wispy white mycelium, looking nice and looking fresh. So I'm really interested in seeing what these albinos are going to turn out like, because I'm going to inoculate in these jars. I'm going to get them ready tonight. Probably make a tutorial and show you guys how I'm going to make them. Pretty much these jars, I have 12 of them. 6 are going to be for the orange Melitaris. Another 6 are going to be for the albino Melitaris. That way I have, it's just like, you want the good product or do you want the super product? It's going to be a good, not only for a genetic comparison for people who try this one, and they could, you know, definitely try the other one and see a difference, because it's, I guess it's scientifically proven. You don't need to ask me, just look it up yourself, and for good reasons. They say that the albino is more potent because the orange one, the orange Melitaris, focuses some of its energy on turning bright orange, so a lot of that energy goes into color pigment. The albino is mutated off of the orange Melitaris and became not its different strain, but the same strain, just a mutation. And because it doesn't have what's it called, pigment, it focuses all its energy on growing and becoming more potent in the medicines that it provides. So picture, I think they said that the potency between an orange one and an albino one is a difference by 30%. So that's a lot. So check it out. If you don't believe me, do your own research. Come back and, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the master or the professor on all this. This is just what I've learned through doing my research and trying to figure out about the stuff that I'm buying and providing, you know. So we'll put that back for now, because that's not the project right now. It even comes with its own little silicones. Same for that tight little seal. Real professional like. Alright, so what we're doing right now is we're going to get ready these grow blocks that I already cooked off, and then we're going to put them right here, sterilize them, and I want to see two things. One, I want to see how it does with the sealer, and if it doesn't do good, I have rubber bands right here, and I'm going to super tie off the top, you know. So let's see. Give me a sec. I probably need to buy a new one of these, but hey, if the motherfucker ain't broken, it's still working, it still seals my bags, why not use it till the fucking wheels fall off? When you own your own business, you're gonna know the difference. Oh man, one of my bags broke. Nevertheless, 4 of them look still good. So let's keep the process going. Boom. I thought it was busted, but it's just really stretched and still good. So let's seal this off before anything happens to it. I like to do like 2 to 3 seals, so that way in case the first one wasn't good, the other ones will prevent anything going past that first barrier. And then one in between those two. Worked out pretty good. So, looks a little deformed, but this was me not knowing my pressure cooker well enough, and I tried to squeeze 5 bags in there just to be a dick. and get the most out of my bang, but it looks like I'm gonna have to play it safe and just put 4 every run. So I already have 4 ready to go for my second run, and checking everything. You know, nothing's leaking out of it. It's still a good bag. There ain't no puncture holes or nothing bad about it. We're gonna run with it, and it's still a clean substrate because everything was cooked off at 15 psi for 2 hours and a little bit over 2 hours, but definitely met the goal. I'm gonna put this on the shelf, get it ready for inoculation. Once I seal off the rest, now I need a trash bag, and let me be right back. Look, this is the shit I'm talking about. Look at that. Busted. All that substrate down the drain, but that's also my stupid ass for trying to just stuff it up in there. So you live and you learn. Business gotta keep going on. So I found a second one. Now that's 2. Now I'm definitely never gonna put 5 again. Unless I'm putting like 3-pound grow blocks, something that won't take up that much space, but a 5-pound grow block, sticking a 4 in a canner, and I need to invest in a super larger one in the future. You know what I'm saying? Gotta stay sterile, get myself down with the alky. Gotta throw this. First I gotta get these bad boys out of here. Turn the volume down. Did a good job of sealing, but it was cutting some off. You can see that. Look at that. But it's sealed. Two blocks. And initially, these blocks are huge. They could grow me exactly what I need, This is just all a tester first run, also to see how I'm going to do my business. So this is a good little, fuck. And that's the bullshit I'm talking about. 2 good fucking blocks down the drain. Money wasted on stupidity. Look at this one, look at the shape of it. It's like a corner block. These are going to be some massive fucking fruits. I'm telling you. 4 blocks it is for the future. Yep, just turn down the temperature. Nice seal, not too hot. Boom. So now, got them on this shelf, chilling. I'm about to label them up. So, let's get this started. And then I'm about to do my second run right now. So initially, when I thought that these bags were going to be good, I thought I was going to be able to pump out with all the materials starting off and everything just going off the first run, make my product, possibly invest a little bit more in buying some more substrate to keep going, but I want to see how long it takes. One, for them to grow. Two, also how well the product moves. And three, whether I want to focus more on just holistic mushrooms like reishi, lion's mane, cordyceps, tremella, or do I even want to work in the gourmet mushrooms for just to see how well each does and where I need to focus my energies more at, especially in my area, because I know I'm probably not the only, but I can guarantee that I'm one of the ones who's taking this very seriously and investing and trying to trial and run my time to make sure I'm perfecting everything at the very beginning as I go into it. I mean, look at this. Look at everything I invested in this. You guys are seeing it hand first. So let's get this going. It said that the first ones I need to do was lion's mane, blue oyster, and pink. So the one that's the weakest, because blue oyster is the strongest and fastest, I'm going to inoculate the weakest with the strongest. Lion's mane will be the center block, pink oyster will be the side. Then from there, and I create more of the 4 blocks I'm about to cook off right now a little bit, then I'll get to go into growing more of the blue or the pink or the lion's mane, or introduce another one in there like golden oyster or king oyster, just so that way I should probably do the golden oysters and the king oysters, and then probably do reishi down the line, just because that's going to take the longest. So maybe I should get one ready now, but let's get into the next set of business. So I'm going to put this lid, not where my feet could get hit, and let's get this going. So I have my lion's mane, my blue oyster, my pink oyster, and look at the mycelium on those things. Look at that cluster. That is nice, healthy genetics. Now let's swirl it up. Get it ready, so that way I could get it prepped for inoculation and break it up. Same thing with my blue oyster. Look at that. Boom! Big little fuzzball up in there. Nice healthy white. You guys see that? Means I'm doing everything the right way. Boom. Break it up, get a little twister, little twist and shake. Look at all that mycelium ready to go. I could take this, inoculate 30 more jars, 100, 1,000 more jars just with this. This is serious business right here. As long as I stick to the plan, do everything the right way, keep doing it the way I'm supposed to be doing it, things will turn out great. Don't y'all agree? Look at this one. Lion's mane. Probably not as fluffy as those ones, but still a nice little specimen. Look at that little fluff. Boom, break it up, break it up, break it up. Now, technically what you're supposed to do right here, since I just pulled these out of the fridge, is wait till they drop back down to like room temperature-ish, I would say. At least colder than what it is. So that way you don't shock your mycelium when you take it from a cold substrate, inject it into a warmer, like room temperature substrate, then it goes into like a little bit of a shock from being changed in drastic temperature environment. Drastic environment temperature. So what I'm gonna do is chill out, play some Call of Duty for like 30 minutes or so, let them kind of warm back up a little bit before I use them and abuse them, and put them back in the fridge for storage. So give me a second and I'll be back. Alright, so I already put the lid on, was about to seal it, but I thought I'd give you guys a visual. I was having issues earlier when I put them 1, 2, and then 1, 2, but I found out that I could squeeze them in there better if I put one on this side, one on this side, and put it like an X. Then the empty pockets, they kind of seep down into a little bit, squish in there more, and then I'm able to do what I do. And then I could seal it. Boom. See what I'm saying? I mean, it's harder when I do it with one hand, but let me do it with both. So as you can see, I'm just tightening the bolts now, and the magic number is 4. 4 fits in there completely. When it was with 2 hands, it was like easy. Just need to put the rest, but you guys get the idea. And I'm not really tripping anymore that I can't create more mass. Eventually, I'm gonna have to look into the future of buying a like huge pressure cooker when I get business booming, just to keep up with orders and production. But until that day, gotta bask in your small successes. I still have another pressure canner. I could pretty much cook off 7 a day, 14 if I really push it between the two. But in the start off phases, until we get down the exact master game plan of trial, test, and error, that way we know what works best. This is all just a trial run. And look, I forgot one. I forgot one last time too. But still cooked off nice. That's probably why it took longer to hit 15 psi though. With these pressure counters, they come with automatic. If you want it like 10 pounds, put it on 10 pounds. If you want 5 pounds of pressure, you put it on 5. If you want a 15, you put it on 15. Wait till it builds up to 15 psi, then let it do its thing for 2 hours. So let's leave it alone. So it is exactly 2 hours later after I started the 4 blocks. So 15, ooh, touched it pretty hot. 15 psi. That's how you know it's getting around, or if you want 5, you want 10. It all depends on what you want and what you're cooking. I'm putting it on the highest, at least possible, at least what I was recommended, and what you guys should be doing too. And you know what I'm saying? Make sure your stuff's good to go. Now I'm going to do is let it naturally cool down after all the pressure and all the steam. Otherwise, you'll build up condensation if you switch it from a very hot to a very cold temperature. And you don't want to do that because that invites cobweb mold and other stuff that you don't want growing in your grow substrate. So now, what we're going to get back to, since I turned that off and made sure I'm not going to just blow my fucking house up, is inoculating the grow blocks. And they feel about a good temperature. They're cool now. I could deal with that rather than giving them all that time just to set myself up for failure. So what I'm going to be doing is, give me a second, charge my phone so it don't just die on us. God damn it. Anyway, what I'm going to be doing is 100 of these. Might as well put it to use for the right reasons. One, two, three. All sterile needles, all for each, that way I'm not sharing needles, as they say, for the mycelium. These are cool to the touch. The only thing I need to do is stab it in the injection ports where they're at. When I stab it in there, just squeeze, up, down, make sure it gets all up in there, and you'll see it start spreading out. These ones, I'm just going to allow them to do their thing, so we'll let them do their thing, and let's get to work. First things first. As a matter of fact, first things first, after I unplug this, is there a way that I can turn it off? No. Let me just turn. So, check that out. This one is the lion's mane. And look, it formulated back into its little, so we're going to swirl it back up, make sure it gets nice little tight little even circles, tight little circles, that way it really breaks it up. And you want to be able to suck it up into the needle so you can't leave it too chunky, Oh shit, god damn it. Okay, I didn't break anything. Alright. Now the blue oyster mushroom. Boom. And the pink oyster mushroom. Now, if you want to be a lot smarter about this, what you're going to want to do is get yourself a magnetic Surbar. Now, I have it, and at the time when I was doing this, I didn't remember where I put it. And then after it was already done, I didn't take the time to do what I was supposed to do and put it up in there. Otherwise, this would be looking a lot more like the Militaris, where you see a lot of those little things just spread the fuck out. And I looked at the other Militaris, I guess this strain is really wispy like that. So that's a good thing. Makes it easier to go into the needle. That's why you gotta watch these, put them in the in the refrigerator as soon as possible, or else they start, expanding in their culture, and then pretty soon you're gonna have chunky chunks that you can't even hook up to a needle because it's too thick, and then you're gonna have to like do pores, and that could always get contaminated if a wind blows in the spore, or you just happen to touch your finger in it, your hands are sweaty, you didn't do some sterile wipe down like this. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're good. Back to the area you're working down on. That's why I like this table, it's really easy to clean. Same thing for so the jars, make sure they're good to go. Don't wipe too much, I'm already wiping off the, so maybe I'll just do that, I'll just squirt the area, because I'm wiping off the labeling. We don't want that, we want to know what the fuck we're working with. Blue oyster mushroom. See, I'm gonna let this set for a sec. Pink oyster 3-4. Number 1, first gen, inoculate. Cool. It's the same thing for this line, man. Might as well just wipe it all off. It's fucking. Sorry. All rough. Line 3-6. Number 1, first gen, inoculate. Cool. Now that we got that squared away, what we need to do is I need to get a lighter real quick so we can light the tips of these needles before we go into the cultures. There we go. Back to this. Alright. Lighter. Wipe it down, make sure it's sterile. And some. Hands again. Cool. Now, I'm gonna set this up. So after I inject it, I'll have my block ready. It'll be ba, real quick. So, the bag that was still good, but was damaged, but it's still good because it's just a little weak on the sides. We're going to inoculate it with the fastest culture, which is the blue oyster mushroom. So, let's spray down the area, wipe it down, let it dry. Spray the hands once again, let it be sterile. Boom. And I have the what's it called? What are they called? The blockers. So that way, in case you guys want liquid cultures, I could suck some out, and I have the plug. You know what I'm saying? So I could send this after it's the clean culture instead of leaving it like this exposed. I could sterilize. Close this off and keep it a sterile environment to ship to you guys for genetics. If you guys like the product that I've been pushing out and you like the genetics, like it's growing mass yields, you know, you just like anything, you know, you want a liquid culture from me, let me know, because I'm up in the business to make business. And I want you guys to see that it's real deal Holyfield over here, being as sterile as can be. So boom. There we go. I can see some mycelium up in there. Boom. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is mycelium up in there. See? All I'm going to do is stab that area. And squeeze all of this up in there. Squeeze to the left. Oh, my bad. Squeeze up. You're not supposed to do that, but this is all a test run. Pull it out. Push it to the right. And push it down. Boom. Utilize the whole needle. Done. Done and done. Now I'm going to keep these needles to the side, and I'm going to research if I could reuse the vials, because why not? I could always just make a liquid culture and use the vial if I could clean it out with alcohol or sterilize it somehow in a pressure cooker if it doesn't melt. Well, I'm new to this stuff, so might as well take advantage and learn as I go. So, boom. Blue oyster mushroom block just inoculated, and it's going to do great. Now we're going to go for lion's mane. Lion's mane. Lion's mane. Boom. Thank you, blue oyster mushroom. I need the lion's mane. Next one. Better get me a seat up here. Make sure it's red hot. I always hit it with some alcohol to cool it down real quick and sterilize it at the same time. And then wiping it off, dries it real fast before you stick it into the culture. So, boom. one's being real chunky and stubborn. A little harder with this one, it's a little chunky. Next time I need buy bigger needle heads. Oh my god. Big fucking head. There, I got a little bit up in there. Yep, that's enough. I got enough up in there. Spray the area down. Wipe it down. Squirt. 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 Definitely do its thing. It had little pieces up in there, but regardless, it had pieces. So, number 2. Lion's mane. Lion's mane. Number 3. Pink Oyster mushroom. Cool. Back down the spot real quick, it's been a while. That was about Pink Oyster again. Alright. Yeah. Into the same dilemma, let's try to break it up as much as we can. I have a feeling it's going to be the same result, though it looks kind of chunky to me. How about y'all? How about y'all? See, lesson learned with the business. Buy thicker needles. Cool. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's a good amount right there. Let's send it off. Boom. And that's how we do it. That back. Now we're going to put these back up in the liquid culture library. Over here at the fridge. Keep using this in the future. Boom. Got my 3 grow box ready to go. Spaced out from each other a little bit. And boom. Now, it's the perfect temperature up in here for it to do its thing. It's not too hot, not too cold, not too baking, and not too slow. Perfect. Comfy. As I said earlier, I could go to sleep in here, no blanket, and it ain't gonna bother me. You know, turn the lights off, and it'll be cool, even cooler up in here. It's really just reflecting the light a little bit because this is a Mylar 10. So, besides that, my process is pretty much done. You guys could check out the results soon. Today is the 23rd March, and this one is a blue oyster mushroom, lion's mane, pink oyster mushroom. You guys are seeing it here first. You saw the process. Always still something new to learn. Buy bigger needles for my syringes, or buy syringes that come with larger needles, so that way it's a little bit easier, because those ones are kind of micro, tiny, thin ports, little injection ports. So you live and you learn. Or also at the same time, make sure I carry the magnetic stir bar close by, so I could drop them in there and it'll stir and break them up like fucking fine mesh next time, and it'll probably most likely be a lot easier to just suck them up when they're tiny little bits, you know, kind of like the cordyceps right here. See, look at that, tiny little bits, swirl it around, and you see thousands. You know, this shit would be probably easy just to go up the syringe, just because they're so tiny, you know. It's wispy. Look at the texture. Look at this, the albino, Cordyceps albino. Look at the texture. This one's like 100% colonized. Look at that. This one, pretty much the same. This one got a little bit more to go, but you know, the whole section over on that side, it's like a half moon, you know. This one, ready to rock. I let it go for another day or two just to like thicken up. Same thing with this one. On one side, yeah, so I'll give it another day or two. And you could already see that. I could probably put this up inside the fridge as is. So let's do that. That way we have it before it starts getting chunky like the other ones. Looks like I got a bunch of beer up in here. It's just honey water. Alright, maybe I might put this other one up here. This one that was fully colonized. This one. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, this one got a little bit to go. This one a little bit to go. This one's pretty much fully colonized. Oh, maybe not. This still got a little bit to go. This still got a little bit to go. So the first one, boom, fully colonized. So let's put this one up in there. Save it for later. Look at my Cordyceps militaris up in here making that orange product. That's how you know it's the militaris. Look at that orange. Orange. These are ready to rock, so I need to drop those up in some cultures or start some, you know what I'm saying? I really want to fuck with the culture, because the culture just like, you know what I'm saying, you just stab it in the bag, stab it in the jar, and it's pretty much good to go. So once again, thank you guys. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, share, follow, and stay tuned to see the journey. You also see that I have more cooking off right now, so I'm gonna fill up the shelf space. I'm not really putting stuff up there, maybe like little stuff if I start like more agars and cultures, and I'll have room down here. But for the most part, nothing but grow blocks on here, and this is just the beginning. So keep staying tuned. Appreciate everybody who stops by, leaves comments, likes, shares, tells people about it, learn something, or, you know, shed some game on me. And I appreciate everything. So thank y'all.